Guys, DBG here, and today we are going to be talking about every one of the alternate reality cards, and we are going to be ranking these guys from worst to best in NBA 2K23, my team. So I have played games with all of the pink diamonds or lower in this collection. I have basically put all the stats in shoot around on Carmelo Anthony, Magic Johnson, and Pau Gasol. So I have a general gist of how I have a general idea of how those guys play. And then for some of the lower tier guys like Larry and Duncan and all the lower guys that I haven't used, I've used their better versions, and I can kind of make a comparison between their better versions and these versions, and I'm pretty confident in where I have ranked them. So anyway, that was it. Not great there, but yeah, unfortunately I cannot mute this mic. I bought a cheap mic travel and I cannot mute it. So first up, Steve Nash. I don't even think Steve Nash is that bad. Steve Nash dribble style is pretty good. Steve Nash release is actually pretty good. He's got again, you're saying card in February that can't dunk, and that's the truth about it. He got 25 interior defense and can't dunk. He's actually got decent range. He's actually not that much worse than the Pink Diamond. If you're a Steve Nash fan, unfortunately you can't really use a version of Steve Nash in a Phoenix jersey. If you're a Steve Nash fan of Phoenix, if you're a Steve Nash fan from the Mavs, you can't use it. But if you want to use a Steve Nash with a Toronto Raptors jersey, you guys can. But it is at least an affordable version of Steve Nash that's decent and not grindable. So I'm not too angry, but he's the worst player by far in this set. After that is Larry Bird. Larry Bird. A lot of people were like, oh, he's going to be better than the Dark Matter. I said it. I'm like, no, he's not. He's just going to be a Dark Matter. I was like, the Dark Matter has really, really good stats and badges. He just sucks because he sucks. And I literally said, I'm like, he's just going to be the Dark Matter without the things that people think the Dark Matter are good. Like, people think the Dark Matter is good because he got good stats and badges. The Dark Matter stinks. He absolutely stinks. But Larry Bird is going to... Okay, Descript just came up. Larry Bird is going to be playing no minutes. He can't dunk. Can't shoot because of how bad that release is. Can't even shoot fades. Can't dribble. Can't really play defense. Not a bad defender, but he's garbage. He's garbage. Then we got CP3, Pink Diamond. So we've actually got one of each tier at the bottom. Look, he's a 6 foot tall point guard who can't dunk. And sure, he's got Chris Paul dribble style. We're literally looking at worse Bob Cousy. I'm sorry, I cannot hype up worse Bob Cousy. Is he a copy paste basically of his Opal? Yeah, same card. But I cannot in good conscience hype up a worse Bob Cousy in this game. His release isn't even on quick. 6 foot tall player with a release on normal timing. And I don't really like the CP3 leaner. Then we've got Donovan Mitchell in here. And not a bad card. Really not a bad card. The thing with Donovan Mitchell is that he can't hold limitless range. So he's very like the initial diamond card that came out. The card that came out in week 1. But again, the fact that we're saying, oh, he's really similar to a card that literally came out in week 1 on the 11th of February is not a great sign. And it's just a sign on these other guys that Donovan Mitchell is 4th worst. Then we've got DeMar DeRozan. Basically, he's the Pink Diamond. Can't do much. His dribbling's mediocre. He'll hit wide open jump shots, but that's really it. Low 3-point rating. You're going to be heavily reliant on greening with... Well, obviously you have to green anyway, but you're going to have to be heavily reliant on timing. Doesn't play much defense. Doesn't really dunk the ball even that well. He's not up to much. He's really not up to much. Then we got Timmy D. Timmy D, 81 speed, 76 3 ball. I think in a lot of ways you can compare the Diamond Tim Duncan to the Dark Matter. I really do think that. I think it's a very close one between Duncan and AD. Diamond Duncan and Opal or Amethyst AD for who's better. But if you're looking at the stats that are big, it's like ball handling, which doesn't matter for Duncan. Vertical. I genuinely do think that this Tim Duncan is more than usable at that power forward position still to this day. Good player build, a lot of the good things about Duncan. Especially again if you don't want a complete trophy as you want to use a dunk, I think he's a really good option for that. But other than that, I wouldn't be too high. Then we got AD. This is again a close one, and I went with AD just because he offers a little bit more in terms of shooting. He still has Jordan dribble style. He still has the normal leaner. So he offers very, very similar to what the Opal AD offers. Obviously can't hold range or agent threes or anything, but You don't really need it. Give him like, obviously his catch and shoot corner specialist. With that normal laner, he can be very effective. Still a really good defender as well. Um, the Duncan versus AD debate is really a close one. It is a really close one, and it's just complete personal preference. Just like I actually think Tim Duncan Dark Matter versus AD Opal is personal preference. You can flip these guys. If you want to put Duncan ahead of AD, that's cool. You want to put AD ahead of Duncan, that's cool. But I'm kind of indifferent. Then we got PG. I hate Paul George this year, and I will go like out on a limb and say I hate Paul George. Like, I am a person who paid legal tender for this Paul George. Let's be real. I spent legal tender on this PG 24. And like, I was so confused with him wearing 14. Apparently 13's retired for the Lakers. And also apparently, oh well, not apparently, obviously 24 is retired, it's Kobe. But like, I'm trying to think, and I'm like, is there a number that he could have wore except for 14? I don't know, what number did he wear at Fresno State? But yeah, like, PG is fine. Very, very comparable. Very, very good defensively. 6'9" shooting guard. Very comparable to the other Paul George. He comes with gold range. I hate Paul George in this game, though. So, like, for example, like, Amethyst Penny is going to be higher than him. But I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Paul George is better than that guy. I hate Paul George. Like, I cannot stress that enough. I don't like Paul George in this game. Then we got Amethyst Penny. Amethyst Penny is a 6'7" point guard who's got a pretty okay standing dunk, a good three ball, a usable release, the normal leaner, trade dribble style. Like, he's basically Pink Diamond, but only a tiny bit worse. Exactly. He is a Pink Diamond Penny, but a tiny bit worse. And Pink Diamond Penny is a way, way better card than Opal Paul George. So, yeah, even though he is a downgraded version of a Season 2 card, it's a damn good Season 2 card. But it is hard to believe, though, that this card came out in Season 2. And you're still seeing people run this guy, and we're like pushing Season 5. Then we got Kevin Love. Kevin Love is just a sniper. That's what he does. He's going to hit shots. He's not really going to dribble too much. He'll be a mediocre defender. He'll get offensive boards, defensive boards, and he will just hit shots. He will pop very well. He's effective in that role. He's mobile enough that he's not just going to get abused on the other end. Kevin Love is a really, really good player and just outside the top 5 from today's cards. And number 5, we've got Pau Gasol. So 4 of the top 5 obviously are going to be the Opals. Pau is a 7 foot tall. Let's be real, you're going to play him power forward. He's got good speed. Really, like, his stats are all really good. Pau and quick is not bad. I'm not gonna say it's great, but it's not bad at all. He's a jab dribble style. He's also got the elite defensive stance. Pau's really nice. Like, this top 5 is tough. Like, obviously just outside the top 5 we had Kevin Love. But like, I think there's a bit of a gap between Kevin Love and a Pau Gasol. A really, really good card. Like, he's got goal clamp breaker, he's got anchor, he's got range. There's nothing really wrong with Pau Gasol, and that is one of the things that I really like about the card, is that he has no flaws. He just doesn't have any real strength, and he's hard to like run anything through, but not bad at all. At number 4, we got Klay Thompson. Klay is a player that, off the pure catch, his release on quick is really good. And when defend Klay is released, that off the catch on quick, it's really good from my experience. Jordan dribble style still good, normal leaner. The issue with Klay Thompson is that he genuinely, like, his shot off the dribble is one of the hardest ones to time in the entire game, unless you're fading. But he's a absolutely, like, unbelievably good defender. His speed is good. He can hit leaners and he can dunk if needed. I genuinely think that he can cook. If you need to cook with this guy, you can. Even though he is just like a 3 and D wing, most of the time he's just going to be your cone. If you do need a cook with Klay Thompson, you guys can, because he can attack the basketball well and he can shoot the leaners. At number 3, we've got Carmelo Anthony. So a lot of people are like, oh, Carmelo Anthony needs to be top 2. But like, can I just say Carmelo Anthony's the most overrated player on my team this year? Everyone hyped up this card and stopped using him after a week. Everyone hyped up this card and stopped using him after a week. And everyone's going to hype up this card and just not use him. He's not even as good as Quentin Richardson. His release is one of the hardest releases to time in this entire game. It is. He is one of the hardest people to time and to not miss time, because he even gets a split second load up. Every one of his shots is bricking. So, mediocre defender. He dunks well enough. He got quick drops, which is good. But at the end of the day, is he that much better than the Pink Diamond? I don't think so. And we've had this cycle of Carmelo Anthony of just hype with very little substance. Carmelo on his day can drop 40, probably better than any player in this game. The issue is that his release is just so hard to handle. And like whenever I play Carmelo Anthony, I leave him open for the first couple of possessions just to see if my opponent can hit some shots with him. And it is not an uncommon thing for your opponent to miss 3 in a row and sub Carmelo Anthony off the game. Number 2, obviously, Amare. Amare can't hold range, which is a little bit annoying. But if you're looking at the badges that he can hold, he's got like most of the defense doesn't matter. He can't hold Challenger Glove Menace, which like isn't the best thing in the world that he can't hold those badges. But like you give him all the badges he has with the release that he has on very quick, with the normal release on or normal leaner on very quick, with the Jordan dribble style, with the hardened size up. You're looking at one of the better dribbling bigs in the game. Is he a top 5 center? I think there are, or power forward, there are 5. There are 5 that I would say are like, or maybe 4. There is Nedelicki, who when I was talking about the best players, I forgot Nedelicki. Nedelicki, Ijalian, Kevin Garnett, and Chet, not even Chet Holmgren, I don't even like Chet, and Dirk Nowitzki. They are the top 4 in the game. And then I think that he's down there with Chet in like the next tier guys. He's down there with like Chet and Duff. But still one of the best power forwards in this entire game, by far the best value. But number 1, look, it's Magic Johnson. The guy's got God tier 6, but again, you don't really need Stevie size about Magic Johnson. It's irrelevant. He's going to stiff arm people to the basket, except this one can kind of shoot. He's still the stiff arm king. He's still going to be one of the best defensive point guards in the game, but he can kind of shoot, which is a really, really big thing. He's obviously got all playmaking badges. Magic still can't run this game, but he doesn't even need to run the way the game's played, because he'll just stiff arm people to the basket. Whether you have a good running style or not doesn't matter when you're glitching people like that. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Last place we have Nash, then we have Larry Bird, then CP3, then Donovan Mitchell, then we had DeMar DeRozan, Anthony Davis, Tim Duncan, Paul George, Penny Hardaway, Kevin Love, Pau Gasol, and then to the top 4, which was Klay Thompson, the bronze medal position going to Melo, silver to Amare, and gold to Magic Johnson. So anyway, that is the video. This is a terrible set of players. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.